Hi guys, Craig and Annette from AusCamping. Today we're going to have a chat about off-grid water. You remember in one of our early videos we showed you how we installed a mains water connection on the side of our van so that when we're in the caravan parks we could just plug straight into mains water. Fact is, Annette and I do most of our camping off-grid, so normally what we're doing is we're filling up our water tank at home, or both water tanks at home, and driving with full tanks. Sometimes it's not possible if you've got a weight problem with your tow vehicle combination. You might want to tow with empty tanks. I always prefer to tow with either full or empty. I don't like half full tanks. You have in this van two 100-litre tanks, so if they're both half empty, that's 50 kilos of water in each tank that's changing sides as we go around corners, so it adds to instability. That's why I don't like to tow with half empty tanks. So back to the subject, water. The first thing you want to do is make sure you've got good hoses and enough fittings for every situation. So there's actually, this is my emergency one, the plastic ones. I actually prefer brass fittings, but there's actually 3 different size taps that you might encounter. So we carry all 3. As I say, I prefer the brass ones. This tiny one, you very, very seldom encounter that one. But the large one, very common in New South Wales, and the other one is the most common, the middle size one. We carry them in brass. Oops, that's my connector for the mains water connection. So we carry them in brass. I carry an emergency pack of 3 just in case I lose something. We bring this one as well, so this goes on. If you've just got a tap with no thread on it, you can secure this onto the pipe with the hose clamp. These are available from Bunnings, places like that. As I say, brass fittings I prefer, so we put brass fittings on our hose. We have a 20-metre hose, but food grade hose is really soft and it's a pain in the ass to roll up a 20-metre hose. Plus, if you're in the caravan park, you don't need a long hose. So what I do is I cut my hose in half, and I also carry in here somewhere, I also carry a joiner so that I can join my 2 hoses together, go back to a 20-metre hose when I need it, and have my 10-metre hose if I don't. The other end's in here somewhere, you get the picture. We also carry one of these, which are available from Bunnings, which is a security tap. It fits all the different kinds of security taps. So sometimes you'll find that there is available water at a public park, but because I've been subject to vandalism or misuse, people leaving them on, they put a security tap on. If that's marked as a public use tap, then you still can use it, but you're going to need something to turn it on and off. Do check, some parks you're not allowed to fill up with water, you're not allowed to use the water, so just make sure that you're doing the right thing. And make sure you've got a food grade hose. They're a little bit expensive compared to a garden hose, but a lot of people complain about tainted water in their tanks, and sometimes it is the tank, but 9 times out of 10 it comes back to the hose. So we also have this little tank filler here. It's got a little tap on here. That makes it a little bit easier when we're filling the tanks at home. So I just clip this on the hose, pop that into the tank, and I've got a remote tap here. So as I say, we fill up at home. That's the way we prefer to do it, and we drive with full tanks. Then you get to a nice place like this beside the lake, and what if you're staying for long enough that you run out of water? Our nearest tap is about 2 or 3 kilometres up in town, and I don't really want to have to hook up the van and take it up there because we've run out of water. So what we do is we go back to our old tenting days when this bag here, this big bladder, was our main source of water. So we've carried this all over Moreton Island and Fraser Island, and that was our entire water supply. That bag is made by a company called FlexiMake, and they're in Melbourne. They've got a website, just fleximake.com.au. I'll put some links in the comments as usual. And that bladder is 110 litres, specifically designed for drinking water, but these guys make them for fuel, they make them for all sorts. And this bag, just having a look at the date on it, this bag, this is our second bag. Our first one was a cheap one off eBay and it lasted us for a couple of years. This one we bought in 2020 and it's still going strong. Nice strong bag, as I don't know if I mentioned, it's 110 litres and it has a vent hose on the top, so it's nice and easy to fill. You can just open the vent, plug your hose in here, turn your tap on and fill it up, and at bottom fills. Bleed out any air through the top. So we still use this, and I've just come back from town. We've filled up with water in town, bought the water back, and I've got this cheap little 12-volt water pump, and I can plug in, hook up to my battery, and we can pump the water back into the caravan. So that's how we overcome our water problems if we're staying somewhere for a period of time and we do run out of water. We've got 110 litres here, so we can fill up a tank. The split valves that you saw me put on the caravan in one of our previous videos, we can isolate a tank, so when one tank's empty we swap over to the other one, and when we go into town we can fill up with water and then fill the empty tank. So that's our off-grid water. One other thing about water management, we'll just go around to the kitchen and I'll show you something there, just a little tip. So the other thing we do for water management is sometimes if you're just washing your hands, just turn the tap on slowly. It's enough water, you're going to be able to wash your hands. A lot of people tend to turn the taps on and the water's pouring out, but just a little trickle is enough to do the job. Conserves your water, means you don't have to be filling your water tanks quite as often. Hope that helps. Feel free to subscribe and follow us on Facebook as well, or check out our website, AusCamping.au. See you next time.